Welcome to episode 3 of the TnT Sports Podcast. I'm Teo. That's Teddy.
Yep.
And today we have a pretty action-packed episode for you. We're going to discuss several topics, ranging from our NFL draft experience to the draft itself, to why the Tigers blow, and then what should the Tigers do with Tarik Skubal.
Yeah.
And I guess what should the Pistons do with Cade? Should the Pistons just relocate, you think?
Maybe. I mean, the Detroit Shock would probably be better than what...
I'd rather watch the Shock than the Pistons.
Yeah.
Couldn't be any worse. But we'll get to that at the end. But let's first talk about our draft experience, of course.
Yep.
The draft was in Detroit. We are Detroit-based. Not Spanish-based, but Detroit-based. And I went all 3 days. Teddy and I went 2 days. The first 2 days. So rounds 1 and then 2 and 3 on Friday. And I'll start off just by saying that 775,000 people from all 50 states and 20 different countries came to Detroit for at least 1 day to spend their time and hard-earned money to watch their team select amateur players for their professional football team that we've never seen play a professional snap.
Yep.
We don't know if these guys are going to work out. We don't know if Caleb's going to do anything. You know, first pick to Mr. Irrelevant, who I think was a Jet player this year. Like, we don't know what they're going to do in the league. From the first overall to the last overall pick, they could be, you know, half of them could be studs, half of them could suck.
Yep.
More than half could suck. You know, could Tyrion Arnold be anything?
Or some even might not even make the team.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. There's picks that won't make the team. Absolutely. And then so we'll get into what the Lions did, but we just want to talk about our experience. So my experience was pretty awesome because I got to spend it with you, number one, and then my father on Thursday, and then my other brother-in-law. Second favorite brother-in-law, let me just clarify, Norris. He was there for a little while, but then, of course, he had to go to sleep early because he has an early bedtime. He's the Amber Alert hero, so he's got to be up early every morning just in case he gets that Amber Alert at 2 o'clock in the a.m. like sometimes we do.
Yep.
So it was good. It was cold the Thursday night when we were in the... We'll call it the draft stage of corridor. Yeah, the hub. With all of the hundreds of thousands of people there just standing there, freezing their butts off. We were there for a little bit, but then it was like impossible to see any of the... Couldn't see the stage. It was impossible to see any of the screens because there were 2 screens on either side of the stage opening. Yep. And by the way, the stage looked phenomenal.
It was great.
It was awesome. And that's primarily because of where we were at and sort of the grading of the area that we were at. So that sucked, but it was actually, I think, it was actually better to go to a more quiet place.
Yeah.
And because they had screens set up everywhere, so we found a good spot, got some chairs, and just literally froze our butts off, watching all the first-round picks. And that was actually fun. And then we did that again with our uncle, with my uncle, on a Friday for rounds 2 and 3. So it was a lot of fun, and it was warmer. It was still a little cold, but it was warmer on Friday. So that was awesome. The food was really good. Had a ton of food trucks everywhere. My only criticism was there wasn't enough, food trucks inside the actual area of the draft was, like, where you had to scan your barcode, which you didn't actually have to scan your barcode, which is very weird. But that area didn't have a lot of as many food trucks as I thought it may have could have hold or held. So that's kind of like the one knock on it that I have. Yeah. Because then you had to go out. Of the draft area. Yep. Which was a pain because you had to, you did a ton of walking just to get in or out of that place. Yep. So that was a little tough, but other than that, I mean, it was a great experience. I think there were only, a handful of arrests, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
non-fatal, no shootings like how there was in Kansas City last year. So that's good, and all the positive things that I heard about, out-of-towners say about Detroit was actually very encouraging.
Oh, yeah.
And the out-of-towners were great, too. We didn't have any trouble with any of the Bears fans.
No.
The Packers fans are always going to be annoying, but they were, they were tolerable.
Yep.
And then, Vikings fans, who cares, right?
Well, who cares about that?
I'm just kidding. We love Vikings fans, too. So... if I had to rate it, I'd give it a Rotten Tamale score of about a 9.2 out of 10. The food thing kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but
yeah,
it was still an awesome. Like the draft itself was an awesome experience.
Yeah. So for me, I'd say like you said, we were there Thursday, Friday. It was cold. It was, but being with all the fans of the NFL, that was something that you can't it might be once in a lifetime thing, but I think it's gonna be there'll be another chance for Detroit.
Oh yeah,
100%. Like the revenue, I'm very intrigued to see what comes out of that. How much the city, the state, the city made. All the local businesses, it helps tremendously. My only knock, and that you had to leave for food, but I think there should be more entrance points, because where we were, there is some of those local restaurants right there. We could have. We were able to exit to get something if we wanted, the Potbelly or wherever it was there. If we didn't want the food truck, but you would have to walk all the way down to the Jefferson, for that entrance point. I think when it comes back to Detroit, because I think the NFL has already said, what they loved it. I think there should be a couple more entrance points rather than 4. Some of them were shut down because the capacity.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So my score, I'll stick it to a 9.1. It was absolutely,
it was incredible.
It was incredible. I've never experienced anything like that. The people, just yeah. Yeah,
there were so many people.
If you're claustrophobic, you probably didn't enjoy it, but hey.
Yeah. Because there was the 3 entrances, the 2 off of Jefferson, 1 on either side of Woodward, and then there was the off one on, I forget what street that was. Maybe it was Cadillac or something by
Cadillac
there.
Square, yeah.
Cadillac Square.
Yep.
And then, like you said, it hit capacity at least 2 of the 3 days.
Yep.
That I know of.
I thought it was all 3.
Maybe it was all 3.
Yeah, I think it was all 3.
Yeah. Wow. What a time to be alive and in Detroit. It was incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, the experience itself was great. On Thursday, so it was so cold. We were like, okay, so the Lions picked 29.
Yep.
Initially, they picked 29, and then it was so cold and it was late and it was Thursdays. You and I didn't have work Friday because I took work off, and then you typically had Fridays off.
Yeah.
My dad had to work, and he gets up early to go into work, so he was gonna go into work, his usual time. So he wanted to get out of there and also try and beat, if there was traffic, try and beat traffic.
There wasn't,
barely phenomenal. Any traffic, which was phenomenal and also weird considering there was
everybody stayed downtown, the hotels.
Yeah, maybe it was that, or everybody. Well, we left around pick 22.
Yeah.
Which was around I think 10:30.
There's also shuttles.
11 o'clock
from different cities.
That's true.
So.
That's true. So that's a good point. So there were a lot of shuttles. You get dropped off somewhere, like on Woodward or Grand River or Michigan or wherever. A main thoroughfare.
Yeah.
And then you just walk the rest of the way because it would take you pretty close to the boundary or the barrier for the draft area. So probably a lot of people were just shuttling in, not taking their own car. Because we got a really good spot, and we got down there around 1:30, 2 o'clock or something like that. So
we could have waited a little bit too.
We could have, yeah. And Friday we did go a little later, and we still didn't have any issue really with parking, getting in or out of the parking deck.
Yep.
Which lucky for me, I work downtown, so I have a parking pass and a parking deck not far from Woodward, so that was easy in and out.
Yeah.
So that was also, I got to give credit to whoever planned the event. It was so well planned and just I'll say Detroit looked well manicured.
Mm-hmm.
Every corner of it that you went to was just, it looked spectacular. Outside of the main draft area, they had the little pockets, the little parks like Harmony Park, Capitol Park, Grand Circus Park. Those were the three main, I'll say, auxiliary areas where there was food trucks and events or like music.
Yeah.
Or tents set up, Like it was really well done and very well planned out and coordinated. Like just whoever did that, kudos to you. You deserve a raise.
Yeah.
You deserve a chunk of that. However much Detroit made, for hosting it. So great job, everybody. Great job, all you Detroiters for putting your guns away, putting your knives away. You put your buffs on. Good job.
Yep.
Love it. Okay, so I think that concludes our experience. I think it's a resounding well done, A+.
Very well.
Now there's that.
Yeah. And
then there's the Lions draft, which I would give a complete and utter F. 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 Hated it. Love the first pick.
Yeah.
Got no issue with it. So I'm gonna bring up my little notes here. Okay. Because I went back to all of Brad Holmes' draft picks, okay?
Yep.
And I have what I would classify as 5A draft picks. Not including this year, because, again, haven't played snap. So 5 draft picks that are A's. All right, now you tell me if you agree with me here. Okay. His first pick ever, Penei Sewell.
Resounding yes.
A+++++.
Yes.
St. Brown in the 4th round, same draft.
Yep.
A++++. Aiden Hutchinson.
Yep.
Kind of hard to not give an A. Kind of hard not to pick on when the stupid Jags take Trayvon Walker. Thank you, Shad Khan, you idiot.
Tony Khan or whatever.
Is it Shad Khan? I thought it was Shad Khan. Tony Khan?
Well, yeah.
Fact check. Who cares? He sucks. Khan. He hasn't never won anything. Okay. 2nd round pick of 2023. So I only gave 1 A grade to a player in 2022. So after Aiden was, of course, Jameson, who I think is just a complete and utter failure at the wide receiver position. If he stinks, if he bombs again this year, I rest my case.
Yes.
Okay. So fast forward to last year, not this past draft, but the previous draft.
Yeah.
Sam Laporta and Brian Branch.
Yep.
A+.
Yep.
Plus.
What about Gibbs?
B. And here's why. You're never going to pay him. You are never paying Jahmyr Gibbs. So all I'm saying, okay, fantastic player, fantastic young player.
Yeah.
I love him. Tell you hate Jahmyr. No, I don't hate Jahmyr Gibbs. I drafted him in one of my fantasy leagues, and I played him week 1. I went through the rookie growth phase where he gave me, first few weeks, first handful of weeks was like 6 points, 7 points, 8 points, 9 points, 10 points. I stuck with him because I loved him. I thought I loved him in college. I thought it was a 2nd round pick at the earliest all day long. He has 1st round talent, but teams rarely take running backs, okay?
Mm.
The last, I would say, significant, aside from Bijan Robinson, the last running back drafted in the 1st round that I can think of off the top of my head is Saquon. He was selected 4th overall. I'm trying to remember another one. Taken Henry? Somewhere between 4 and 12.
4 and 12, okay.
Or 4 and first half. Let's just say the first half of the 1st round.
15.
Not including Bijan. Yeah, 16. Not including Bijan because, again, Atlanta's not paying him. So, somebody's going to pay Jahmyr Gibbs, someone's going to pay Bijan, but it won't be the teams that drafted him. Why? That rarely happens.
Yes.
It rarely happens.
I can think of Derrick Henry got a 2nd contract with Tennessee, but outside of that,
but I don't think he was a 1st round pick though.
I don't know. Fact check. He might have been a 2nd.
I'll look it up.
Second
it's okay, we're live, but it's okay. I'll look it up. I have Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
and it's pretty good. Thank you, AT&T. Thanks for raising my rates, but whatever. You know, $5. You know, who's counting? Let's see. Was he a first round pick? Let's see. Team Baltimore. Okay, yeah, that's now. Wow, it doesn't tell me where he was drafted. Epic fail. Oh, here we go. I'm an idiot. Second round, 45th overall in the 2016 NFL draft. Running backs are rarely taken in the first round, and then you rarely sign them to the long-term contract because running backs have a shelf life. Okay, the other one I could think of is maybe Joe Mixon. But again, he didn't sign long-term with Cincinnati. He never signed long-term. He's in Houston.
3-year deal.
Yeah. And at the end of his 3-year deal, Joe Mixon's career will probably be over.
Yeah.
Probably. Because unlike a quarterback, unlike a wide receiver, unlike a tackle, or someone on the defensive line, or even any other position on defense, except maybe corner, running backs are virtually expendable after their first 4 or 5 years in the league.
I think he's going to be with the league doing different things now with the kickoff. I think it could change because of the speed. Yeah, you could have J-Mo out there, but you could also have Gibbs out there as a return man because of the new rule. And I think that could open up. Yes, I don't agree. He'll get franchise tag before they actually make a decision. But I think...
And you're still going to pay him that 1 year. You're going to pay him $13, $14, $15 million if he's good.
Yeah. So it could change. Like, I'm interested to see what they do with that kickoff. Like the Lions.
I don't think they'll be returning kickoffs. I think the Vaki kid will.
Yes.
Which, again, F.
Okay. I'm not that harsh on them for... I love Terrion Arnold.
Yeah.
The rake straw pick, I get it. You double down.
I hate it.
I hated it like
in the moment.
In the moment. Then I watched a little bit of what he did at Missouri, and he's a slot guy. He'll compete with Robertson for snaps. I think he could be a starter. I really do this year. So I don't hate that pick. Not like now. The Vaki thing I absolutely hate. The
what about the Giovanni Manu?
The depth, like the placement where they got drafted, right? These guys could have been, fifth, fourth, fifth, possibly, right? Brad Holmes saw something in Manu, the defensive tackle guy they took, right? It's
Manu's the offensive tackle. Are you talking about Mekhi Wingo in the 6th round, or?
Yeah, but they're also thinking about with Manu to move him over to defend on the defensive side of the ball, defensive tackle. I heard that.
They're gonna move Manu to defensive tackle.
They're trying guard. They're trying some different things with him.
Oh my god!
So because of
I didn't know that
his size. So
okay.
And you don't know what happens. Yeah,
he's huge.
You don't know what Aleem McNeil is, and the guys behind Aleem McNeil.
Oh, I love Aleem McNeil. I know.
I do. I want to pay him, but if you don't pay him, who you're gonna trust? Freaking Josh or Onzarike or whatever the hell.
Levi. No.
Yeah.
Not John Kaminsky.
Yeah. None of them.
And I forgot the other guy that they signed. Not Reader, the other one. Like a third stringer guy. I can't remember his name.
But there's also with the 2nd round pick, you could have taken a receiver. With who was there, literally,
and
that
I would have been able to say, I love that pick.
Yes.
And if I may,
yes,
I'm going to give you stats. Okay.
Yep.
I've been waiting so long to tell you these stats. I don't think I told you these. Okay. So I hated. So let me just before I get into my spiel, what would you grade? And of course these grades don't matter. Okay?
C-.
Okay, C-. Okay,
yes.
so that's like C's average, C minus, like slightly above, below average.
Yes.
Now, obviously, we don't know what the kids are. We're just looking at it from a roster building perspective. Do the picks make sense? From my perspective, they make 0 sense.
Outside of Terry Arnold.
Outside of Terry and Arnold, and outside of the last 2, I like the last 2 picks.
Yes.
It's the first 3 of the first 4. So if I like Arnold, I don't like the second round pick, and I don't like the 2 fourth round picks. Part of the reason is because I don't like what they gave up in getting the 2 fourth round picks.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Teddy.
Yep.
For Giovanni Manu, who has not played a single snap in the United States of America.
Yes.
He played at British Columbia at Polytechnic, Poutine Mountie University, or whatever it's called. He's never played against the highest top-tier talent. Okay? And then you're just going to thrust him into whatever position he's going to play.
And he won't start this year.
Tackle, or guard, or defensive tackle.
Yeah.
You're right. That's exactly what I'm getting at. And what did they give up to move back into the 4th round? Because they didn't have a 4th round pick this year?
A third?
A 3rd rounder next year. Which is a top 100 pick.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me, Teddy, that you took a top 100 pick next year to move to pick 126 this year to draft a project? When you have gaping holes at wide receiver and defensive end? What? And then Brad Holmes says, you know what, I heard Teo hates that, so I'm going to double down on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to trade next year's 4th to get back into this year's 4th so I can take another positionless player. Is Sione Vaki a running back or a safety? Oh, but he had high grades in both.
We don't need a safety.
We don't need a safety or a running back.
No.
At best,
maybe a third
right here.
Third string running back.
But we have a third string. They re-signed Craig Reynolds. Craig Reynolds is your third string running back. And I love Craig Reynolds with a third string running back. I do.
Yeah.
Their running back core is incredible. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so at best, the offense that Giovanni Manu is your you said it. If Gio Manu plays, he's a superhuman this year. If he plays significant snaps, I'm not talking about in the preseason. I'm talking about game time.
Yeah.
If he beats out Dan Skipper, the other
Glasgow.
No.
We don't have Glasgow. Yeah, we have Glasgow.
But Glasgow's starting.
Yes.
Who's the other guy that started?
Benito Jones.
No, he's a defensive tackle.
Okay, yeah.
I should have done more. My point is, he's like the 8th or 9th tackle or offensive lineman in your depth chart.
You're not starting him over Zeitler. You're not starting him
over... No, Zeitler's a Pro Bowler.
Decker. You're not starting him over Ragnow.
No.
You're definitely not starting him over Panay.
No.
So where is there room on the line?
Nowhere. On the bench. The room is on the bench. And he's going to take up a roster spot, and he's a project.
Yeah.
He's a project through and through. No team that is win now, that's ready to win now, in win now mode, drafts projects.
No.
Ask the Philadelphia Eagles if they draft projects. No, they do not. Ask, well, I can't say the New England Patriots now, but when they had Tom Brady, they didn't draft projects.
Nope.
Does San Francisco draft projects?
No.
Does Kansas City draft projects? No. They can't afford it. They need all 53 players on their roster because at 1 minute, they're going to have their star wide receiver. And the next minute, he's not going to be there. And then the next minute, the defensive tackle is holding out. And then the next minute, their tight end's hurt. Their Travis Kelce's hurt. And then the next minute, they lose Najarius Sneed.
Yeah.
If the Lions, lose, the only way you're seeing Sione Vaki... Okay, so we've beaten the Giovanni Manu pick. It's a dead horse. It's a horrible pick because of what you gave up and what he is.
Now, we did get back a third in a trade, or a fourth. We got one of those picks back next year in a trade that we had, or I think it was after the draft was over. I believe we got the 4th round pick back.
I didn't know that. I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
We'll see about that. Well, in the third round and fourth. Oh, who cares about those picks?
They're huge.
When you get to trade deadline,
yeah.
What did Chase Young go for?
A fourth, a third.
What did Montez Sweat go for?
Yeah.
In Chicago,
it was like a
third round pick,
yeah,
fourth round pick, or one of the was it a second round or a fourth round?
Chase Young just went for one pick.
Both of them went for one pick.
Yes.
One pick, and it wasn't a first rounder.
No.
And it wasn't a second rounder. So if you and this is again, this all boils down to two things, and I'm getting there. Okay, the holes at wide receiver and defensive end. You don't have those picks, third and fourth round pick. If Hutch gets hurt, who's behind him?
Kaminsky.
Garbage.
Nobody.
Who's behind him?
Houston.
Garbage. Who's behind him?
Wingo now.
Garbage. Who's behind him?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Pascal. No. Yeah.
Please.
No.
Now, when I say James Houston is garbage, I don't mean he's actual garbage.
We'll see what happens.
I mean he's played 9 career games.
Yes.
9 career. You don't believe 9 career games, Dale? Yeah, 9 career games. Look at his stats. 9 games. Half an NFL season is what he has experience-wise in 2 seasons.
And how many sacks does he have, though? But
8 or 9.
Yeah. Like,
cool.
Yeah, if he stays healthy and lives up to the potential this year, right? Could be cool.
The problem, again.
But
but he has the sack a game.
I know. Yes.
The problem is he's not an every down defensive end.
Yep.
He's
a third round.
I forgot what his snap share was. His rookie year where he had 7 or 7.5.
And that was the back half of the season.
And it was the back half of the season when they were already pretty much cooked.
Yeah.
He only had like a 35-40% snap share. Okay. Yep. Aiden's over 85%.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He's like 88% or something of snaps that he's playing, defensive snaps. Houston is playing literally 50% less. Mm-hmm. Okay? Yep. 30-some percent. 38, 35, 36. I forget what it was. He's a specialty down player. If it's 1st and 20, James Houston should be on the field rushing the passer. Or if it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, 3rd.
You know they're passing. If it's an obvious passing down, James Houston's going to be opposite Aiden Hutchinson. He's going to be rushing the passer because that's what he's good at.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No.
If Aiden goes down, are you going to every other play just rotate guys in?
Yeah.
No. So, Brad Holmes, what are you doing in free agency only going after Marcus Davenport? Who's pretty injury prone if you look at his last 2 years of playing the NFL.
Yep.
You have Josh Pascal, also injury prone.
Who was a project as well.
Who was also kind of a project because he was injured so much.
Yes.
So he doesn't have the NFL experience.
Yep.
The only other player that has the NFL experience is Marcus Davenport. Okay? I felt they needed to address that position in the draft.
Yep.
Okay, now let me... Oh, well, if Aiden gets hurt, we could just fill him up with those other 3 players you did tell. They're pretty good. Are they? Last 2 seasons, combined stats. I have 2 groups, okay? 2 groups of statistics.
Okay.
It's... What do I have here? Total tackles, solo tackles, assisted tackles, or tackle assists, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And then sacks, okay?
Okay.
I want you to tell me which group of statistics is Aiden Hutchinson, okay? So you have a 50% chance of getting this right. So, group number 1. 90 total tackles, 58 solo tackles, 32 assists, and 13.5 sacks.
Okay.
Or 101 total tackles, 70 solo tackles, 33 assists, and 21 sacks. Which is Aiden Hutchinson's group of statistics? The first one or the second?
First.
It's the second.
Okay.
Do you want to know what the first group of statistics was? The other 3 guys combined the last 2 years.
Ugh.
Aiden Hutchinson alone has more total tackles than Josh Pascal, Marcus Davenport, and who's the other bum James Houston. So combined.
Okay, and you know what's even wilder? 9 of those sacks are James Houston in the second half of the season.
Yes, exactly. Now we understand that there's more than 2 positions on the defensive line. Okay, but you're not gonna put DJ Reader at edge when Aiden Hutchinson gets hurt. Yes. Okay, Aiden Hutchinson's out in wherever he lives, and he's shoveling his car out because we got a foot of snow, and he ends up like Joe Zumaya, tears his pectoral muscle doing the dumbest thing you've ever seen. Anybody that makes any amount of money, Guitar Hero or shoveling.
Yes.
Okay, and he's out for a few weeks. Your defensive line is cooked.
Done.
Guess what everybody's doing now? Oh, well, we only rush to the outside that Aiden's not on. Well, now they have the option of going around both sides because both of your players are not Pro Bowl caliber. Nope. They're not even close.
Yep.
90 tackles between those 3 players in the last 2 years. 100. What did I say? I keep losing my spot. 103 total tackles. You're losing 21 sacks versus 13.5 sacks to replace the 21. So my point is, and my grief with not taking an edge in this draft for added depth. Of course, I don't expect a rookie to come in and give me
Wingo,
to give me numbers,
6th round pick,
right? Yeah. And Wingo's a tackle; he's not going to play on the edge. My issue is if Hutchinson, and this is an if, okay, but remember this is football. Anything happens. A rolled ankle, he's running, make a play, no non-contact injury.
Yep.
Those things can't happen to anybody.
You're just talking about edge right now. You're not even addressing wide receiver. You're not even talking about wide receiver.
Thank you.
Yes.
If Hutch goes down, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that could derail your entire season. And this is part of the reason why I love the Arnold pick, because you need a corner since Cam Sutton tried to murder somebody.
Yeah.
But Enos Rakestraw, after you signed Robertson and Jamel Dean, you got Jamel Dean in a trade. Okay, yes. And here's my other issue with taking 2 corners with your first 2 picks. Okay, and really, if you break it down like how I'm about to break it down, you used your first 4 picks in this year's draft to acquire 3 corners. Because remember, you used a third. To get
Dean.
No, not Dean. It's the other one.
Carlton Davis.
I don't know why I said Dean. Oh, the better Tampa Bay cornerback. Sorry. You traded a third to get Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Traded a third to move up 4 spots to take Arnold, who, if he wasn't there at 29, you just take Rakestraw. What are we doing? Earth to Brad. Do you copy? Hello? Do you need 2 corners? No. You also signed Robertson in the offseason. And you re-signed Emmanuel Mosley. If you tell me, he's not the same player. Well, then why did they re-sign him?
There's a very good chance that neither of those 2, Robertson or Rakestraw, play, because the nickel corner on the team, the slot corner, is Brian Branch. Because you have...
He did play a lot of slot corner last year, yeah.
And he did very, very well.
Unless they plan on using him more in the secondary.
Or as a hybrid linebacker.
Unless they want him to be like this bum traded from the Jets to Seattle. The safety. Adams?
Yeah.
Jamal Adams?
Yeah.
Unless they think he's the next Jamal Adams?
I don't know, yeah.
And what I mean by that is he plays in the box, or he's a center fielder, or he plays it first and second down run downs, and then third down he's playing coverage.
Yes,
he can do a couple different things for you. Unless they're planning on using him for that. Again, so many safeties, so many corners, so many times he's rebuilt or retooled the secondary, and he's hit on a lot of guys. Okay, if you look at the line secondary, they're all his draft picks. So good job, Brad. You know how to draft safeties, and you drafted too many corners, and you signed too many corners. Stop it. The issue with our secondary and the one of the worst pass defenses in the league right, last year, isn't the corners. It isn't the
Yeah.
safeties. You didn't get pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah.
The quarterback is back there ordering something on Amazon. And he's like, oh, yeah, you know what? I forgot. I need to get some new penny loafers. Oh, look. Justin Jefferson's open over in the slot.
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's a double-edged sword, right? You need your pass rush to rush the quarterback in order
to bail
to
out.
Bail out, yes, because you can only cover an NFL, like a good NFL wide receiver for so long.
And how many good wide receivers do we have in this division?
A fair amount.
Yeah.
A fair amount. I think, obviously, right now, Justin Jefferson is the best one.
Yes.
You're going to face.
DJ Moore.
I'm not high. Okay. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and this other Yutz, Romo Dunze, would in theory be very good if they didn't have a rookie quarterback.
Yeah. Yes.
If Kirk Cousins instead went to Chicago, I would be...
If Justin Jefferson would have stayed in Chicago...
What do you mean?
Justin Fields, I'm sorry, I got it.
Okay, yes. If Justin Fields had... Yeah, you're right. If Justin Fields had stayed in Chicago, I would be right there with you. I would say... I wouldn't be quaking in my boots like, oh, I'm so scared. But like, okay, they're going to be a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
For both games. Especially the one in Chicago.
Yeah.
They're going to be a pain in the butt. You know, they might not make the playoffs, but again, like how they were last year.
They're going to be a thorn.
As bad as we all hated on Justin Fields, the Chicago Bears should have beaten the Lions twice.
Mm-hmm.
They beat them once.
Yep.
Should have beaten them twice. So
Justin Fields decides he's going to celebrate on the sideline or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Celebrated a little too prematurely, just like someone else we know.
So, like, if we had, that's what Brad Holmes probably was thinking. Look at all these receivers in this division.
That's cool.
We have to, beef up the secondary. Sure. When the line is just.
That's cool.
Yeah. You have Aiden and then Aleem McNeil. Okay.
Now, all that is fine. Okay?
Yes.
Actually, so I just want to just throw this out here, okay? So I forgot I actually did some more stats because I love stats. So here's some stats. The Lions sack totals and passing defense during the Holmes tenure, okay? In 2021, they had 30 sacks, which ranked 30th. Okay, there's 32 teams in the NFL, Teddy.
Yeah.
They ranked 30th in 2021.
Yep.
Now, that was a throwaway season because...
We don't care. Yeah.
That was Goff's first season.
Yep.
They were trying to retool the roster from what Quintricia did. Idiot Trey Flowers was still here. I forgot the linebacker's name that was here. He's supposed to be good. Jamie Collins was supposed to be good. Freaking Desmond Trufant, garbage can. So they were retooling. Okay, I'm not going to hold that against them, okay? But 2022, shoulda, coulda, woulda made the playoffs, right? 39 sacks, 20th. So bottom half of the league still, okay? In
23.
That's sacks, okay? In 2023, they had 41 sacks, tied for 23rd.
So you digress.
23rd.
Yes.
Now they had more sacks, but they're ranked still lower.
Because the league is getting better.
Now, both of those years, all three of those years, 21, 22, and 23, guess what they ranked the highest of those 3 years? The highest in passing defense. And I'm saying passing defense in terms of passing yards allowed.
22.
In total. That's a phenomenal guess. You're very close. The best that they ranked was 24th. Now guess which year it was?
In 22.
21.
21.
The year where they had the fewest number of sacks.
Wow.
22. They ranked 30th.
And that was
passing yards allowed.
Yes, their defense improved the second half of that season.
Yes.
And majority of those sacks came in the second half of the season. So.
And what did they do in the last 10 games? When they started sacking the quarterback?
Yeah.
8-2, Daddy.
Yeah.
Because why? Because again, you can have all the corners that God has ever made.
Yes.
To put on, put the best corners that ever lived on your team. If the quarterback has 4-5 seconds to throw the ball, he's gonna find somebody open.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't cover somebody in man coverage or in zone coverage every single time and not have at least one person open.
Yeah.
That a quarterback can just scanning the field, or if he just so happens to get flushed out of the pocket, goes one way, he looks up and somebody's open. Stuff like that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
My point is, you can have all the corners to cover all the wide receivers. They're gonna get calls. They're gonna get penalties.
Yeah.
They're gonna get open in your zone coverage and your man coverage because they're that good. They're good, and just in general, it's difficult to cover guys for long periods of time.
Yes.
So, the pass rush is. I'm trying to establish something. The pass rush is established to
help the secondary.
2 passing yards, right?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So how about this? Over the same 3 years.
Yep.
3 of the top 5 teams in sacks were in the top 9 in passing yards allowed, and allowed fewer than 4,000 yards. The 3 years that I'm referring to, 2021, 22, and 23, the Lions allowed more than 4,000 passing yards all 3 of those years. 21, they allowed 41.60. 22, 44.46, and then last year was the most, 45.62. Okay? So my point is, the best teams, and here are the teams, okay? There's 3 of the top 5 in sacks. 3 of the top 5 teams with the most sacks in the league that year.
Dallas.
Were also in the top 9 in passing yards allowed, so fewer than 4,000. In 2021, the Bears, 49ers, and Steelers. In 2021, do you remember what happened in 2021 with the Chicago Bears?
Off the top of my head, no.
Nothing. They didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened to the 49ers in 2021?
They made the playoffs.
You know what happened to the Steelers in 2021?
They did not make the playoffs. Or yeah, they made. I can't recall. Playoff bracket or something. Yeah. No, because Cincinnati, and he had.
They went 9-7-1 and lost to Kansas City.
Okay.
In the wild card. So they made the playoffs. So 2 of the 3 teams made the playoffs. Okay, 2022.
Yep.
Saints, Eagles, Cowboys.
Saints laid an egg.
Yeah.
Cowboys made the playoffs, and so did the Eagles.
Okay, Cowboys,
they laid an egg in the playoffs. Okay. Yeah,
we don't call a timeout and tee them up because they suck.
They do.
They're never winning anything.
Yes.
Okay, but the point is, they made the playoffs.
Yes.
Okay. Eagles.
They
went to the Super Bowl.
Went to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Last year, 3 of the top 5 in sacks were top 8 in passing yards allowed. Okay. Chiefs, Ravens, Bills. All 3 AFC teams.
Yeah.
All great teams.
Yep.
All lost. Well, the Ravens and Bills lost to the Chiefs. And the Chiefs
won the Super Bowl.
If you want to win the Super Bowl, you have to have a pass rush, Brad. You know what happened last year when you played San Francisco? You laid an egg in the second half?
Yeah.
You didn't get to Brock Purdy, Bradley. And you didn't kick field goals either, Dan.
Yes.
I rest my case for now.
You didn't even hit this wide receiver, which is
this
yeah. But
Teddy, we're already at 45 minutes.
I know.
Let me get to wide receiver, okay? And I promise I'll be shorter.
Yes.
Because now that I've beaten the dead horse of not having depth at edge,
you don't have depth at wide receiver.
Beat the horse at wide receiver.
Yes.
Tell me whose stats are whose, okay? Again, same thing.
Yep.
I only have 3 stats, okay? Receptions, yards, and touchdowns.
Okay.
Not even talking yak.
Yeah.
Yards after catch. Receptions, yards, and touchdowns. Group 1 stats. Oh, wait, hold on. Do I have? Oh, yeah, okay. I can't even read my own list of stats here. Okay. 225 receptions, 2,676 yards, and 16 touchdowns.
Okay.
That's stat group 1. Stat group 2, 181 receptions, 2,494 yards, 7 touchdowns.
Okay.
And this is taken over a span of 2 years.
2 years, okay.
Which are Amon-Ra's stats?
1.
Correct.
The catches gave it away. He's
225 receptions for one player over the last 2 years.
Yep.
Okay. 2,676 yards and 16 touchdowns the last 2 years. He averages a touchdown every other game.
And last year he had over 1,500 yards.
True.
So.
Okay, and the other stat group belongs to
the other guys.
The Trinity of
Reynolds,
Jamison Williams,
yes,
Khalif Raymond. Josh Reynolds is not on this team.
Right, and DPJ.
And Donovan freaking Peoples-Jones. How did that guy fall out of the I suck tree and land here in Detroit?
I mean, he went to Michigan. Brad Holmes loves the Michigan guys.
DPJ, get a life. Okay, you didn't have one in Michigan when you played there. It's not your fault. Your quarterback, I think one of the years was Shea Patterson. I get it. Okay, he was an unmitigated disaster, and he still is.
Yes,
I think he's doing real estate.
Cleveland, he had a pretty 1 year that was decent.
Who's that?
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Oh, he did in Cleveland. Yes. He had one great year,
and
where he had I think like 60 or 70 receptions or something
over
like that.
Over 900 yards or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had a lot of yards. Okay, that was 1 year.
1 year.
And since then, he's done literally nothing.
Yep.
Nothing. Again, more than half. And this is, of course, only taking in the top 4 at the position.
Yep.
Okay. And also not including Amon-Ra. Because Amon-Ra is at 225, and those 3 are combined at 181. So if Amon-Ra gets hurt, you're screwed.
Big time.
You're screwed. You're losing more than half of your
production
out of the wide receiver room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but what about Sam Laporta? He's like a second wide receiver. He's a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We're talking wide receivers. Those are 2 different positions, Teddy. I'm sorry. Is Sam Laporta going to always line up in the slot or always line up outside?
Who was on the board with that second round pick? Lad McConkey.
Take.
There's a bunch. There's a bunch.
You know what? Because we're still talking draft. Because we got players we like here in the draft. I'm gonna give them to you.
There was only 5 wide receivers drafted in the first round, I believe. 5.
Yeah, I think it was 5 or 6, right?
Yep.
Here, let's just do that because there was like more quarterbacks taken. There were 6 quarterbacks taken. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there were 7.
7. Okay.
But that's okay because nobody expected Ricky Pearsall to go in the first.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't expect Xavier Worthy to go in the first round where he did.
Well, I did.
I thought he was a borderline first or second. Xavier Legette we're kind of
to Carolina. Yeah.
Yes, to Carolina. Love that pick for them. Love it.
Bryce Young does too.
Bryce Young, if you can see him over the offensive line.
Yes.
Okay, so after the Enos Rakestraw pick at 61, no wide receivers were taken in the second round. To lead off the third round, the New York Jets. Sorry, this is very small on my screen. The New York Jets took a wide receiver you and I both like.
Malachi Corley.
From the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers.
Yeah.
Which I can't wait to win an NCAA championship with them again in NCAA football 25. I can't wait. I digress. The next wide receiver taken after that, Jermaine Burton in the third round.
Yep.
To the Bengals, giving their stud quarterback
another
weapon. Who was the third wide receiver taken in the third round?
Was it by Jim Harbaugh?
No.
Okay.
It was by Pittsburgh.
Oh, it was the Michigan boy?
The national champion.
Yeah, Roman Wilson.
Would you take Roman Wilson?
I would.
What about Jalen McMillan in the third round to Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
You think they have enough wide receivers? They took another one.
Jalen Polk. I mean, he was there too.
And then I think last pick of the third round, Christian's little bro, Luke McCaffrey.
Yes.
Rice. That's in Texas, Teddy.
Yeah.
Texas. You want to go to the 4th round? Here. Troy Franklin. What? Troy Franklin? 6'2", 176? Oh, he's still skinny. What about J-Mo? J-Mo's not even weighing 176 pounds wet.
Yeah.
Javon Baker, loved him. He's going to be a problem, except he plays for New England.
So,
but what about Drake May?
Any of those wide receivers. I would have taken any of them.
Devontae Walker from North Carolina goes to Baltimore.
Yes.
I would have taken him in the 4th round. I'd take him in the 2nd round.
That was another North Carolina guy that
Jacob
the
Cohen.
Detroit Lions wouldn't use.
Jacob Cohen is a slot. I mean, he's a slot monster. I mean, I wouldn't. You don't need to take him because you already have a slot guy.
Mm-hmm. All this to say,
Aeneas Smith, out of A&M, Jamari Thrash. I mean, this wide receiver group was just
so
ridiculous.
deep, and you didn't take a wide receiver.
Not one, dude. Not one. What is your problem, Bradley? Oh, but we got. Who's the other guy from North Carolina?
Antoine Walker.
Oh, but we got Was it Walker or was it Green?
Antoine Green.
Oh, we got Antoine Green in the offing. Screw Antoine Green. He has one reception his entire career.
2 years.
Yeah, that's
second year. This is his second year though.
That's who. Oh, and don't forget Johnny Wilson in the 5th round. I mean, my bad if he can't run fast. Just put him at tight end. I mean, that's what you
exactly, and that's why
he's big enough. He's 6'7".
I'll get there with them. Yeah, with him.
Jordan Whittington was good, man, in Texas. Ryan Flournoy, God. Dallas had such a horrible draft.
Oh,
my goodness.
Trash.
So
they still have Jerry Jones picking. That's why.
Brendan Rice went in the 7th round, dude.
Yeah.
That's Jerry Rice's
son.
kid.
Yeah.
I mean, why not, right? Taj Washington, also USC wide receiver.
Yep.
Cornelius Johnson in Michigan. I mean, I'm not a big Cornelius Johnson guy, but
it's sad.
I mean, look, again, I'm not hating on Enos Rakestraw because, again,
right,
if you have the same amount of injuries at the corner position,
I'm talking about 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah,
oversight, Simone Vikings.
Okay. You don't like you take Rakestraw at 2nd round.
Fine.
You're like, okay, I'm gonna do some draft magic. I'm gonna trade a top 100 pick for pick 120, 6th this year. Like you're some sort of mad scientist.
Yeah.
That math is not mathing. Okay.
No.
It doesn't make sense. No matter which way you slice it.
Right.
Trading a top 100 pick next year for pick 126 makes 0 sense.
Yep.
Could have taken him in the 4th round.
Yeah.
With all the guys that we just named that were still there?
Yes.
Even after?
Yes. So, yes. There is gaping holes in everywhere. Both of those.
Everywhere. Here, Josh Pascal played a total of 22 games in 2 seasons. There's 34 games in a season, in 2 seasons, Teddy. So he played a little over half, okay? Marcus Davenport played a total of 19 games the last 2 seasons. 17 is 50%. So he just played a little over 50%. James Houston's played 9 games. 9!
In 2 years.
In 2 years.
Yeah.
Since he was drafted, okay? 9, Teddy. And that's our depth at edge. And then wide receiver, I mean, who cares how many games they played? They're not... They can't hold Amon-Ra's jockstrap. Nope. I'm sorry. They can't.
No.
It's categorically insane what Brad Holmes did in this draft. Trading away future assets that could have been, if Hutch goes down, trade a third to get someone to replace him. And then when he comes back, you just have that guy there.
So what you're telling me is there's no fantasy options that you would take from the Detroit Lions on your team?
Not one.
This year? Or, I mean rookie-wise,
no.
Yes.
Obviously, I would take, I would take Amon-Ra. I would take Jared Goff in a later, like 8th, 9th, 10th round. If you're one of those people that likes, like Norris, that likes to wait all year long to take a quarterback, and then you take the wrong one. You take Daniel Jones instead of Tua, right?
I mean, I took Dak in the 9th round, 10th round.
Good job, Norris. Oh, well, you know what, Teddy?
Hey, not everybody can win a championship.
literally the dumbest quarterback wide receiver stack I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So dumb. I hate it. I hate you. Obviously, I would take Gibbs again, even though you're not going to sign him.
Right.
Have fun while he's here, guys. They're not resigning.
Taking David Montgomery, maybe.
I would take Montgomery because he's going to get a lot of goal line snaps. Yep. So that's 6 points potentially automatic from him.
Obviously Sam Laporta, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would say Sam Laporta. I got him in a league. He literally won me a league last year. Thank you, Sam. And I had in that league, I had a different tight end, and he got decapitated. I'm trying to remember who it was. I don't remember who it was. But then I picked up Sam Laporta, and that was like literally the greatest move I ever made in my fantasy life. Greatest move ever.
Yep.
So yeah, the rest of the draft though. Now that we've eviscerated, I've eviscerated the Lions.
So I have 4 guys.
Yeah, who are your 4 guys?
So I have 4 guys.
And where they landed.
So I have Jaden Daniels. I love that fit in Washington, and you pair him with Luke McCaffrey with Scary Terry, and they have a new running back. I forget. They have Brian Robinson obviously, but I think they have another guy too.
Eckler.
Yes, Eckler. Right? Yeah, he's a little bit older.
Touch in fantasy, but
right
for.
So I got
for real life football stuff.
He's the only quarterback really that I would take a chance on. Obviously, you have JJ, who's probably in the best situation out of all of them with the tight end. He's got weapons galore. Jordan Addison. He's got Justin Jefferson. He's got TJ Hawkinson. With a new running back, he is set up for success. But he's going to be running into the Detroit Lions.
I think you're forgetting someone, Teddy.
Oh, we're not talking about Caleb Williams.
No.
You don't want to talk about Drake May?
No, I think Caleb. Okay. We're gonna upset our barber again, Eddie. Okay. Sorry, Eddie. I think Caleb Williams is in the worst spot that he could be in Chicago, because the second he loses them a game, the Chicago media is gonna eat him alive.
Yeah. The best situation is Drake May. There's no pressure. Zero pressure for him.
I'm not thinking Drake May either. I'm thinking the guy who's not going to play for 4 years.
The New York Jets guy?
No.
Jordan Travis?
No.
I love Jordan Travis, by the way.
Did he go to the Jets? Did I miss that?
I believe he went to the Jets.
Ooh.
So
let me check. Ooh.
I'm almost positive he went to the Jets.
That's nice. That's nice.
But
shout out Frankie.
I have Johnny Wilson on my list going to Philly.
Oh yeah, 5th round. He went to the Jets. Nice.
Yes.
Good memory, Teddy.
Johnny Wilson as a tight end for the Jets. Zach Ertz is still there, but he's getting older. I love him as a tight end. I've said it. If he puts it in as a wide receiver, he's going to fail. He's going to fail. But as a tight end, I think he thrives.
Okay.
Ladd McConkey for the Chargers. I love it. With Justin Herbert. Another Justin. There's so many Justins.
Dude.
I like it. The Georgia boy.
Dude.
And then my last guy is the only running back I like is
Blake Corum.
No, Bucky Irving for Tampa. Rashad White laid an egg last year.
Yeah,
he was supposed to be the big thing in fantasy.
He was pretty good in fantasy.
He was okay. But
right.
Bucky Irving is set up there.
So I think I maybe said that in our first episode where I liked Bucky Irving as the number 1 running back off the board. Obviously he wasn't, because when does that ever happen? I agree. I actually had him as one of my guys I might actually grab in our rookie draft for Dynasty. The other one is actually Blake Corum, if you can believe it. Not because it's Blake Corum, I love Michigan.
Yeah.
And I actually had Corum pretty far down because of his legs, being out. But actually he's in a very good situation in the Rams offense.
With Kyren Williams.
Yeah. Because think about who else they have behind Kyren Williams and behind Blake Corum now. Nobody. No. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Stafford.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. Everyone's going to be focused on them. I think if Kyren Kyren. I don't even think Kyren has to get hurt. I just think he has to. They have to be in enough leads for Corbin to be in the game.
Yeah,
and he'll get touches. He'll get somewhere between 6 to 10 touches, and he'll be able to put up 50, 60 yards of total offense. His receiving ability is underrated, in my opinion. But Bucky Irving, since to your point, I could not agree more. Probably one of my favorite landing spots for any of the running backs was Bucky Irving at Tampa. I loved it. I loved it when I saw that.
Real quick, we talk about the freaking Raiders and what they're doing with tight ends now, with Michael Mayer and now Brock Bowers. What is this? I don't know if I'll even touch him now.
I would.
Brock Bowers. I don't know.
So here's my logic on it. Who's their best wide receiver?
Devontae.
Okay. And then who's their next wide receiver after that?
The guy Hunter Renfrow.
He's gone.
He's gone. No. I don't know. There's.
I looked this up. I forgot it, but I looked it up, so I'm just gonna loading. Their wide receivers are Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Objectively good.
Great.
Jacoby Myers.
Okay.
You like that?
Kind of.
You like Jacoby Myers?
He was trash in New England. We'll see what happens.
Okay. I don't like Jacoby Myers. Okay. And yes, that's because I had you on my fantasy team and you laid an egg the 1 week I needed you. Okay. Wide receiver 3, Trey Tucker.
Who?
Exactly. Wide receiver 4, Michael Gallup.
Okay.
If he's ever on the 53-man roster, if he's ever active, Jalen Guyton from the Chargers.
Huh.
I would take Brock Bowers because by default he's their second best receiver or receiving player on their team by default.
Then what do you do with Michael Mayer?
Here's the other thing. Yeah. Well, yeah. They'll play Michael Mayer. They'll have their 2 tight end sets and they'll run the ball with who? Zamir White?
Yeah.
Alexander Madison? Former Detroit Lion great Amir Abdullah?
Yeah.
Dylan Laub, though. Or Lobby, however you pronounce his last name.
Who's your quarterback?
From South Dakota State. Shout out, what are they, the Jackrabbits, I think? Their quarterback, and here's why I would draft him. Brock Bowers I'm talking about. Aiden O'Connell. Hear me out, Teddy. I looked this up because I was like, you know what? Brock Bowers, that doesn't make sense. Okay. Let me tell you why I think it makes sense to draft it here. I'm actually going to do a little log for you here. Okay. Here are Aiden O'Connell's numbers here with yards. And I'm going to do the last half because, he started, I forget what week he started. And then, what's his name, was back, Garoppolo. So he started 1 week and then Garoppolo played or was back 1 week and then he went out again and then he came back. So he didn't have a lot of consistency, consistent play time, but he did in the last few weeks of the season. So I'll start, let's see.
I like their coach.
He's great. Okay. Against the Jets, let's start there because that's where he started. I think that's where he became a starter like full time. All right, 153 passing yards. Not great. But he had a touchdown. Okay. 271 in the air against Miami. 1 touchdown. 248 in the air with 1 touchdown. 171. That's when they lost. This was the overseas game against Minnesota this was at home. Against Minnesota, 3-0. Remember that barn burner?
My goodness.
248, 62 yards against and then that was the hallowed Kansas City game where they ran all over Kansas City's defense. 299 and then 244, last 2 games of the year. But his last 4 games, he threw 8 touchdowns and had 0 interceptions. And he averaged like 200 passing yards. Of course, that's with the 62.
And Jimmy G's still there?
No, he's gone.
Okay.
So my point is, Aiden O'Connell turned it on. Now, if you remember, their season was pretty much done, and he came in and he threw fire. He was good. So I'm not saying he's gonna be the next Justin Herbert, because he looks like he should be running a John Deere store or something. But I'm just saying he's not as bad as what you might think. So yes, Brock Bowers, I would totally take. Now, the guy that is in the best situation that's a quarterback that was drafted, because I alluded to him, this player, not even needing to play for the first 4 years of his career. Who is it?
Oh, Spencer Rattler.
Michael Penix Jr.
Oh, yeah, okay. I forgot about him.
Best situation, untouchable in the draft. Because again, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
But that's the best situation for a quarterback, in my opinion, because he's going to make money for free for 4 years. Minimum 2.
I still like Jordan Travis. I don't know.
Jordan Travis.
And then your guy, Spencer Rattler, who you really love. He went to... he was drafted...
I think New Orleans, right?
Yes.
New Orleans? New Orleans. What the heck? Shut up. Gotta love NFL.com. Really cramping my style here. Yeah. Shut up. Why is it automatically here? Let's do the Spencer Rattler pick live. Pick 150 in the 5th round. Spencer Rattler, New Orleans. Not sure how I feel about that.
He could be good. Yeah, he's got a cannon.
Oh yeah, he's got a cannon. He's very inaccurate, but he's got a cannon. Yeah. But yeah, pretty much. Yeah, those first 3 quarterbacks taken are the best situations. Obviously, for if you're going to draft anyone in fantasy and quarterback, which I do, I might be taking Jane Daniels.
I still pick ahead of you in the first round.
I don't have a first round pick this year.
Oh yeah.
Golly, Teddy, thanks for reminding me. So yeah. Other picks I liked. So I liked the Joe Alt pick at 5 to the Chargers. That was awesome. So again, I loved the Tyrion Arnold pick for my Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I loved it. It has nothing to do with the fact that I really just dislike Brad Holmes, his draft this past year. Okay, it has nothing to do with that. You can't take Enos Rakestraw at 61. I would have rather seen literally any other person pick at any position than another cornerback. Because you shouldn't need another cornerback.
No.
You need to beef up the line so you can at least rush the passer a little bit.
Yep.
Because you only have one guy that does that efficiently, and at the edge position, the best teams have 2. I of course really liked Kansas City's pick of Xavier Worthy, even though he didn't look too great at rookie minicamp, dropping every single pass thrown to him pretty much. Again, love Xavier look at in Carolina. He could probably get some high targets here at the end of the year, I think. Take him time to acclimate.
Yeah.
Of course, Philadelphia doubled up on cornerbacks. Oh, you like this, Teo? Yeah, because they don't have a single cornerback worth their weight in gold on their team. At least the Lions have one. No, he's too old. No way. I mean, if you thought
he's a big play Slay.
If you thought Detroit's pass defense was bad, look at Phillies. But they have a pass rush. That's the thing. Yeah. They have a pass rush. They had no corners. It didn't matter how fast you got to the quarterback.
Right.
They were open. Wide receivers were open.
Yep.
And their safeties are horrible too. But they doubled down. They got Cooper DeJean and the other guy. Quinyon Mitchell, my favorite corner of the draft. Adonai Mitchell to the Colts. So you thought
Anthony Richardson.
Michael Pittman. Alec Pierce.
Yeah.
And now Adonai Mitchell. I mean, that's nice with Anthony Richardson and that run game. That's nice. And then the other late rounder that I liked, again, nerding out, I think it was the 6th round. I want to get this right. I don't remember.
Then we can get to our favorite Detroit team.
Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah. Someone save me.
Seriously.
Where is it? I want to get it right. Come on. Maybe it wasn't the 6th. I think it was the 7th. This is why I forgot. This is why I gotta check. Oh, the 7th round, Tail. You're a nerd. You're a nerd. Oh. Maybe it was the 5th round. I don't see it. Where is he? He was taken late. I was like, oh my god, this guy's still available? Aha! Muhammad Kamara to Miami in the 5th round, pick 158. Love it. Absolutely love it. I talked about him as being one of the guys that I like being a sleeper pick.
Yeah.
You know, I thought he would go in the 3rd, 4th round as and really surprise people. He's gonna get a chance to start, I think. So, good luck to you, sir. Prove me right. Javon Solomon also in the 5th round. Would have loved to have either one of those two guys. Would have loved it. Thanks, Brad. All right, we're done. I'm done beating this dead horse. Woof. All right, Tigers.
Yeah.
Okay. They suck. I don't care about the record. They lost to the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Okay, they were 11-6 in the month of May. Teddy, you told me near the beginning of the month of May, you said, oh, well, if their offense turns it on, you got to be more positive. Oh, if they do better, they didn't do better, Teddy, so I'm not being positive.
Offensively, did they do better?
They did do better, but that's only because you can't
Yes.
do any
Yes.
worse than what they were in April.
No,
I
agree.
Can't as a Major League Baseball players. Okay,
I agree.
They're trying. I get it. Torque, you suck and you're trying. I get it. Okay? Javi, you suck and you're trying. I get it. Okay?
You suck.
Canna, you suck and you're trying. I get it. All of you, both catchers. Jake Rogers and Carson
Kelly.
Whatever. Johnny Carson, whatever your name is. You suck. Both of you. You suck at the plate. You're both phenomenal catchers behind the plate. I don't care. I'm talking about bats right now. Your bats suck.
Yes.
Jake Rogers had 20 home runs last year, right?
21.
And actually hit pretty good for a catcher average.
Yes.
230, 240, something like that.
Yeah.
Not even close to that today.
Right. We can't bring
close.
Up... Now, the first month in April, you brought up Colt Keith. Okay? This month, he's turned it on. He's actually playing better. I will give him a pass.
He's hitting better.
We'll give him a pass.
He has virtually no power. For a guy that hit 30 home runs last year in the minor leagues, he has virtually no power at the MLB level. That is incredibly disappointing.
Yes. His average is getting better this year. Like, this month.
But here's the problem, okay? And I'm going to look up Colt Keith stats. I haven't looked these up in about 2 or 3 weeks, so I need to update my... Because when I looked, I mean, obviously before his home run was horrible. Okay, so he's at 238. His OPS is 607. Still below league average by about 100 points.
Yes.
Okay. Is it as bad as the 430 that he was at? No. But again, 430 through 75 at bats, I think is what he had. Now he's got 168, 164, and he's gotten up 170 points. Okay, congrats. Now that the first 60 games of the year are over, can you start playing baseball, Colt? Can you please, for the love of Christ?
Yes.
And it's no
Riley Green is digressing. He started off really well the first month, right? But he's digressed, and
well, okay. So every batter has a slump. The only batter that I don't think I've ever seen truly slump, is Barry Bonds. In my lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay. That I've seen Miguel Cabrera go through a rough patch where he's gone 3 for 30 or something.
Would you consider Tony Gwynn in your lifetime?
Oh no. I never saw Tony Gwynn. I don't think I ever saw Tony Gwynn.
Or Ichiro. Ichiro was always an average.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Ichiro. So you know the stat Ichiro only ever had 10 at bats in his career where he hit under 300.
Yes, I heard that.
He started out 3 for 10 and then never went under 300 in his rest of his MLB career, and had over 4,000 hits, 4,200 hits combined. When you combine his totals in Japan and here in the U.S., it's nuts. Closest thing the Pete Rose will ever see, easily.
Or the new from the Negro League, they're adding
Josh Gibson. Great point. I'm glad they finally added those stats. Like, hello,
yes.
MLB, what are you doing?
Yep.
So, yes, we've established the Detroit Tigers suck. They started out 6-1 last month. 11-16 in the month of May, and
with today's loss,
today they're 2 games under 500. They're 27-29,
28-30, right? 27-30, 22, something like that.
No. Oh, you're right, 28-30. Oh, that's right. They won the other. Damn, they won the. I forgot they won the other.
Yeah, with 28 with Tarik Skubal.
Yes. 28-30.
Yes.
They're 14-15 at home and 14-15 on the road. At least they're consistent.
Yeah. So
11 games back, and we just started June.
So you have
what the heck, Teddy?
We have 3 guys on our. I'll throw away today's game for Reese Olson.
Okay, fine.
Right, but Flaherty since the second start that he's had is unreal.
Lights out.
Reese Olson, they couldn't win. They couldn't score a run. They couldn't give him run support for any of those first 5 starts he had or 6 starts. Okay, he could be, he's been phenomenal. ERA under.
I think if I'm gonna look up his stats real quick, but I probably can't count on 3 fingers this year just bad outings.
Yeah, and then
probably need
besides today.
3 fingers.
Besides today, he gave up 5 hits, 6 earned or something.
Okay.
Or 4 earned.
I didn't know that.
And then obviously Skubal. Skubal has been. We saw him, against Houston, live. That was a very, very good performance. He's been great all year. Since he's been great, and I think you are the one that told me since his last 11, 12 starts, since last year. That he has an ERA under 1 or something?
Under 2.
Under 2.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And he has only 1 loss, and that was, his outing before last when they got blown out by Kansas City those 3 games?
Yeah.
Or was it in the Indians? I don't remember. I think it was Kansas City. I don't remember.
Bullpen, obviously.
Bullpen was great. Started out great, and then lately it's been rocky.
Yeah.
But, again... the pitching's so great. The starting pitching's really good. The bullpen's These things are temporary in baseball. Everything is temporary in baseball.
Yep.
Okay? But it's not about how hot you are or how cold you are. It's about when you are in the dog days of summer. Teams have injuries. They're bringing up guys. They don't know if they're any good. They're just bringing on just to fill in spots in their roster because they need the guys. And they go in there. Some of them, they do great. Some of them, they don't. Okay? In those times, it's what are you on average?
Mm-hmm.
What's your average? Not when you're hot, not when you're cold, but when you're average.
Mm-hmm.
What's your average when you're average? The best teams in baseball, their average, if this is average, their average is up here. Okay, the Tigers, if this is average, their average is down here.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the problem. When they're hot, they're hot.
Yeah.
And we know this because their record, I think, this is a week-old stat, but their record when they scored 5 runs or more.
Like the Wings.
Yes. Like the Wings. When they scored 4 goals or more or whatever.
Yes.
You couldn't beat them.
Right.
Same thing with the Tigers.
Yep.
When they score 5 runs or more, you're not beating them.
Yeah.
They had an 800 an 800 win percentage.
And now with Kerry Carpenter gone, on a DL for a little bit, that's he was their
because that was their second best hitter.
Yeah, second best hitter. So,
definitely a top 3 hitter on there.
Gio Urshela, he's hitting for average. When he plays, he's
I can't stand
he's hitting on bait. I like him.
But Reese Olson gave up 2 earned runs or less in every start but 2. every run but 2, or every start he's given.
You were a little leery on him, before the season.
Well, yeah, because
his swing and miss rate is.
Oh, it's good. It's
really good. Like
his whiff rate. Oh, let me look up his whiff rate. If I can do that, it'll tell me what.
It might be at the top of the league, close to the top of the league.
Whiff. Okay, they don't give me whiff rate. Okay. Oh wait, here we go. 20.5. Oh wait, no, that's a strikeout percentage. Sorry. This is whiff rate. Oh God.
So yeah, he's been lights out. Flaherty is looking like his old self, which is very promising. But when you have an offense who can't give you anything, like when you have Javi Baez going out there doesn't know how to run bases out there,
Teddy, come on.
I know. I mean, they sent down Alex Lang when they should have sent down Javi.
Oh jeez.
Yeah,
you're.
Because how many? Okay, their argument is, we don't have a shortstop. We're trying out what's his face, Jung or Young.
They need to bring him up. I'm tired of seeing
Jackson or Justin Henry Malloy.
Bring up anybody. Yeah.
Like the logic is, okay, Scott Harris made his comments, right? We're trying to get trying to be younger, bring up. Okay, then why did you send down Parker Meadows? I get it. He sucked, but if you want to be young and let these guys grow in the big leagues, keep him up here. And send down Javi.
Or just replace Parker Meadows with the guy you just named. I know he just got hurt.
Yeah.
He was hurt for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, you're not mixing up Max whatever Clark. You're not bringing him up, but
we know what Akil Baddoo is, okay, and it's nothing special. I'm not writing home about Akil Baddoo, okay. No offense to Akil Baddoo, okay. Your last name's cool and your first name's cooler, but you're not an everyday MLB player.
Yeah.
Like what we need in the outfield. Okay, we have 2 right now. It's Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green.
Yes.
It's not Mark Hanna. It's not Matt Vierling again.
Kerry Carpenter is not an outfielder. He's a DH. He can't play the outfield. He can't run very, very well. He can't read the balls. That are hit to him. I'd rather see him as a DH.
Okay, so if he's a DH, but he can play outfield.
He can.
If you need him to play a little bit of defense at the end of a game, he can do it. Maybe not a full 9 innings, but okay. By the way, I found whiff rate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is disgusting. Okay. Whiff rate on the slider is 40%. So 40% of the sliders he throws at, they're swinging through it.
Yep.
Okay, if you think that's good, here's your changeup. 46%.
Man.
Nearly half the time he throws a changeup, he's going to swing and miss. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. They're not... Major league pitchers are not throwing the fastball as much as they used to be.
Batting average against the slider, 143. Batting average against the changeup, 146.
Holy cow.
It's giving up 1 home run on a 4-seamer on a fastball.
Yeah, that's why they're not throwing... You look along Major League, the fastball rate is down. Like, across the league.
And so is the batting average.
Yes. Yeah.
There are 0 teams hitting better than... as a team, hitting better than 260. 0 teams. About 15 years ago, there was more than half the league was hitting over 260 as a team.
Yeah.
Over half the league. That's utterly disgusting. If I'm a baseball fan.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. And I am. So that's disgusting. I'm disgusted. Okay. So now that we've established the Tigers suck.
Yeah.
And basically their season's over.
Mm-hmm.
They're 11 games back in June. Your
Well, they're 3 games back in a wild card, though.
I don't care.
This is... Yeah.
The problem is they're also competing with the other teams that they're behind in their own division on top of the AL East.
Yeah.
Which is also stacked.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. They're doomed. They can't.
Houston.
Their pitching is so good and their hitting is so bad. They can't even compete with teams with average pitching and slightly above average hitting.
Right.
They can't even compete with them.
Yep. So yeah, we established this. So now,
the last topic for episode 3 is: would you trade Tarik Skubal?
Or would you, if you had to choose,
gun to my head,
Cade Cunningham, would you trade him or Tarik Skubal?
Cade Cunningham.
Yeah. And why?
And here's why.
Yes.
I'm so glad I like stats because this stat is just simply incredible. Here, let me find it. Okay. Since we had a good time with the stat groupings before, right, with the NFL.
Okay.
Let's do another group stat grouping.
Okay.
One more. Okay. And I've got 4 groups of four stats.
Okay.
4 stat groups here. Okay. Here's group 1, and I want you to tell me which is Javi Baez. But it's related to Tarik Skubal. Okay.
Okay.
So tell me which one is Javi Baez. Okay. Batting average, OBP, slugging, and OPS on base plus slugging. Okay?
This year?
Yes, this year. Just this year.
Okay.
Is this Javi Baez? Okay. 181 average, 219 on base percentage, 272 slugging, 490 OPS. Okay, that's stat 1.
Okay.
Stat 2, I lost my place. 194 batting average, 223 OBP, 267 slugging. I can't believe these are actual hitting statistics. And then 490 OPS. Which is Javi Baez?
He's number 1. Right?
He's number 2.
2.
Do you want... Okay. Do I know who number 1 is?
Tarik Skubal's stats
against! Yes! Good job, Teddy. Phenomenal. Okay, so my point is, okay, now juxtapose this.
Okay.
Javi Baez, who we all know and love, right, as the worst hitter in baseball. One of the worst hitters in baseball.
Yeah.
It's not, you can't argue he's not. You just have to accept that he is one of the worst hitters in baseball. Okay. He's hitting 194. Tarik Skubal is allowing batters that he pitches against to hit 181 against him.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me what this statistic means, okay, batting average wise? Javi Baez, I'm going to use my favorite money line reference, okay? There's the whoever, okay, and then there's 50 feet of crap, and then there's us, right? Okay. There's Javi Baez. Well, no. There's average. 50 feet of crap, Javi Baez. 50 feet of crap, what Tarik Skubal makes every single batter that he goes against looks like. Worse than Javi. 219 on base percentage.
Yes.
Javi gets on base more. 223. 267 slugging. 272 slugging. 272. And then a 490 OPS. 490 OPS for Javi. If I told you that I have a pitcher that makes everybody, that has on average, again, averages. Baseball's about averages. On average, will make any hitter he goes against look like Javier Baez. Would you want to trade that player? The worst hitter in baseball.
Yes.
Would you want to trade the pitcher that makes every batter he faces
No.
look like that?
No. But let me... Okay, keep going. Let's see.
And then my only counter argument to trading Cade, who I would not trade, okay? Gun to my head, I would take the bullet because I don't want to trade either of them.
Yes.
I love them both.
Yes.
Does Cade make as big of a difference as Tarik Skubal? Because right now, Tarik Skubal goes on the mound before he throws a pitch, before a single pitch is thrown, whether it by the other pitcher or Tarik Skubal. I've already marked another mark in the W column. I don't care if they're throwing out Justin Verlander. I don't care if it's Max Fried. I don't care if it's Clayton Kershaw in his prime. I don't care if the Tigers score one freaking run.
Yeah.
They're winning the game.
Yes.
Because Tarik Skubal started.
Okay. So what happened was it 2 years ago with Tarik Skubal? Okay.
Got hurt.
Right. Tommy John. So
got it out the way.
Yes. So the reason I am trading, because Tarik Skubal, Scott Harris had said it's going to take winters to start like actually spending money, making like a Illich. They have said.
I'm not shaking my head at you. I'm shaking my head at that because that's
yes.
He
so
say that.
Illich wanted to spend money this offseason. He's like telling them, hey, go get the guys that you want. But they're saying, no, we're going to play the patience game, waiting game, right? Like, and Kansas City, they spent, right, all of this money. I can go on and on about this. But it's going to take winters. Now, every time that Tarik Skubal is out, yes, he is lights out. But there's a chance, right now, his value has never been higher. Never been higher, right? And he can get, another, Tommy John, some like blow out his elbow again, right? Mm-hmm. So then what? Yeah, and then you're gonna be out for another year. Like if he gets hurt mid-season this year, he's out pretty much all year next year, right? Mm-hmm. And then you're gonna try to trade him. The value is not gonna be there where it is now. The reason I'm trading Skubal is because of that the risk there. Yes, when he is out there, he's lights out, phenomenal, right? Mm-hmm. But when there's always the chance. I mean, I get it. There's a chance for everybody. Cade Cunningham is injury prone too, right? We haven't seen him like a straight up full season since he's been in the league. That's the thing. But that's true. In baseball, I think there's a higher risk of injury when you're throwing close to 100 mile an hour. And what if I told you there's a guy down in AA who's pitching just as good as Tarik Skubal is in the majors right now?
Yeah, but that's AA.
I know, but still,
I got guys looking like me out there.
Jackson Jobe has been pitching like
I know,
lights
but
out.
He's still like a year away.
I get that, but like you trade him now, you can.
Okay, but what's better, having one Tarik Skubal or two?
You might have two already with Reese Olson and Casey Mize. Don't get me started on him.
Right? I would trade Casey Mize.
I would. Yes.
And Flaherty. I would trade everybody but Skubal, literally. You want Riley Green? Take him. You want Torkelson? Don't know why, but take him. You realize you couldn't trade Javi Baez?
No, you can't. You can't pay
a rosin bag.
Anything.
Not even a rosin bag.
Yeah.
Because teams already have one. You don't need a second.
So that is my argument to trading Skubal. Value right now has never been higher. Every team would take him right now. They would and they'd give up.
Him, yes.
Baltimore would give up like freaking two of their top 100 prospects.
Okay. So
right.
I had this exact discussion with my uncle.
Yeah.
Big Tigers fan, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He said the same thing. I just want top 3 prospects.
Yes.
And I said, you don't know what those guys are going to be. And that's the problem with baseball that I have in trades with baseball. The team that always wins the trade is the team that gets the better player. Long term, because when you're trading a guy that's as young as Skubal is, because he's in his prime, he's 27.
Yeah.
And pitchers now in the majors, if they can, like Justin Verlander, if they can adjust and not always throw 97, 98 late in games, like how Verlander would actually, he would ramp up at the end of games. Mm-hmm. He would start out throwing 92, 93, 94, and then at the end, he would throw 97, 98. Mm-hmm. That was his whole ploy to pitching the contact. You're going to have, if you sign Tarik Skubal now, and he's 27, you could sign him for a 5-year deal, and then at 32, you could theoretically sign him for another 5-year deal again. You don't know if you're going to be able to sign the 3 guys that you get. You don't know if they're going to be any good. You don't know if they're going to stay healthy. You don't know anything about what their work ethic is, what their acumen is, what their willingness to coaching is. You know what you have in Tarik Skubal. You get those 3, let's just say 4 guys, because Skubal is...
Yeah, he's a stud.
There's a bidding war, so now you're getting 4 or 5 top 10 prospects from an organization, and 3 of them are top 5.
Right.
Let's just say 3 of them are top 5. Like, they're at least a year away, 2 years away, 3 years away. They're unproven. They're physically their body is still developing. The trade that I will always go back to as a Detroit Tigers fan is the Miguel Cabrera trade. Okay, Miguel Cabrera wins a World Series in 2003 with the Miami Marlins. They're going nowhere. They suck. They want to get rid of some of the payroll. Yeah. So they trade not only Miguel Cabrera but Dontrelle Willis.
Yes.
Who was bad for the Tigers. He was horrible. But Miguel Cabrera was arguably one of the best right-handed hitters to ever play the game.
Yes.
And what did the Detroit Tigers give up? Andrew Miller.
Yeah.
And Cameron Maybin. Yeah. And a couple other guys that were supposedly good prospects. You only ever saw Andrew Miller and Cameron Maybin play in the MLB. And Cameron Maybin played for like 4, 5, 6 different teams, as did Andrew Miller. But Andrew Miller ended up being a fairly good reliever and then closer on a semi World Series team. I think he was on the Indians. They went on a run. I forget what year it was. I think he was on that team. But other than that,
COVID year, I think.
Was it the COVID year?
I believe so.
I don't remember. He played in some meaningful games. I think he also played for Andrew Miller. He played for the Yankees. I think he did play for the Yankees. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lefty threw I think 100. But if you honestly asked Florida Marlins fans, let's say, and they have like 20 fans.
Yeah.
If you asked any one of those 20 people, would you rather keep Miguel Cabrera
now?
Just in theory, okay, just in theory. Payroll aside, just the player and what you got back. They would say keep Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah.
Throw Dontrelle Willis in the garbage. Keep Miguel Cabrera because he was a once in a generation type hitter.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what he turned into. And even then, trading for Miguel Cabrera, you don't actually know because he was still so young.
Yeah. I don't know.
But he was objectively the better player.
Yeah.
Right? So the Tigers got the better player, and he ended up being like literally the best player, one of the best hitters of all time. Okay? And Cameron Maybin and Andrew Miller, largely nothing burgers. Like, insignificant, virtually.
Yeah. I don't know.
In their career.
Yeah. This is my argument. Like, the risk of injury. Obviously,
there's risk.
There is. You're not going to get a better trade for Tarik Skubal than right now.
That's zero. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Like,
same thing with Cade, though. You're not going to get trade Cade to San Antonio. San Antonio has like 59 draft first-round picks the next like 10 years. Just get like a couple of theirs. You want to do a pick swap, maybe get a player or two. Like, who cares, right?
The NBA is different, yeah.
You trading Cade for the future first-round picks. You don't want this year's first-round picks. You could draft a player at 5 this year. I don't care. Get future picks.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, the NBA draft this year, I'm not going to get into NBA draft talk. It's like, it's horrible.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. It's a crapshoot. Yeah. Literal crapshoot. They're talking about Bronny James going in the top 10, so that way whatever team drafts him can get his dad to go to that team. Like, what the heck are we talking about? They're ancient in NBA years. Their ancient father.
Yeah.
So a team drafting the
it's
kids.
Like nepotism right there. This is
a guy's
huge
kid, so that he'll go play with him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Future picks for Cade. First round, at least 3. Get them. San Antonio and I think maybe OKC are the only 2 teams with
OKC is a little,
multiple first round picks in the
next 5
not
years.
Even their own first round picks.
Yeah.
Just other teams' first round picks. Get the best first round pick you think you can get and just move Cade. Don't sign him to the whatever the max is, 5 years, $300 million, whatever it is.
Yeah, 230. Well, for him, it's
270 or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't sign him or sign him and trade him. I mean, I don't care. That's the best I can think of, and also, I think a pitcher is like when you have that ace, you just throw out there every 5 games. Oh, but he only plays 35 games a year. When you can win like 25 games automatically when he pitches. Maybe he doesn't get the win every time, but he pitches well enough to keep you in a game to the point where when he's out, you start throwing in your relievers, steal a game or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 here and there, like how the Tigers have been winning games lately. When you can put him out there and he'll either pitch lights out and you score 5 runs and you automatically win the game, or he pitches lights out and he still gives you a chance to win a game. You score fewer than 5 runs.
Yeah.
Invaluable. You're not always going to get that from Reese Olson, or you literally have except
Jackson,
for 2 games this year, but
yeah,
he's gonna water finds this level. He's gonna level out. So yeah, I would trade. I don't want to trade either one of them, but if it was me, I would trade Cade. You would.
I don't want to trade either.
We can agree to disagree.
Right. I don't want to trade either one as well. It's just like I just heard that argument being made. I thought it would be cool.
It's it's a very, very interesting discussion.
Yeah.
And also, there's actually some there's some similarities between the two franchises. They both suck. Both owners suck. Mm-hmm. Both GMs have I guess by Troy Weaver. Thanks for nothing.
Finally.
Both GMs have shown that they're kind of inadequate.
Yeah, we'll see with
Scott
Langston now or whatever.
Trajan Langston.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. He sounds like a diehard villain
from New Orleans.
Trajan Langdon. Sorry, not Langston.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of Charlie Langston.
I'll give him a chance. I'm like, don't know what you're getting, but still,
couldn't be worse than Troy Weaver.
No, it can't be. I hope.
Do you know what Troy? I heard this on the radio. I'm trying to. What Troy Weaver's win-loss record as the Pistons GM was?
He's only won, 21 games? Was it 21 games?
Maybe the last 2 years.
He's been GM for what? 4 years?
4 years.
He made the playoffs his first year, and that was with Blake, right? Or was that before him?
No, it was before him.
Okay.
I don't think he made the Troy Weaver deal. Or I think Troy Weaver made the Blake Griffin deal. I don't know.
I don't remember.
So 4 years, though.
4 years.
He was there 4 years. His overall win-loss record as the general manager of the Detroit Pistons was 74. In 4 years, he didn't even average 20 wins a season. Okay? 74 and 240.
Oh, my word.
244 losses to 74 wins, Teddy.
That is horrible.
Minus 170. Minus 170. No. 170. Yeah, 170. I can do math. 170. Insane. Insane. You and I, if we ran a Pistons, we couldn't do worse. Couldn't possibly do worse.
No.
It's literally the worst job you could ever do. And he did it.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting. And with that, I think our podcast is over. Episode 3.
Yeah.
It was still an hour and a half long. We tried to keep it close to an hour, and we just can't do it.
Yeah.
An hour and a half is our sweet spot.
Yeah.
We just blabber on and on. We're talking sports. It's in the basement room. It's good vibes, except for when we talk about the Tigers.
Right.
Or the Pistons.
Wings.
Or the Red Wings. It's always bad vibes with those losers. And it's good vibes. Good vibes with any football team, not MSU.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many games are the Michigan State Spartans winning this year?
8, 9. How many? You could say the same for Michigan. 9 wins. 8 wins. I see.
At Washington's a loss. And I think Ohio State could be a loss this year, too.
You're saying 10-2.
Oh, and Texas could be a loss. At home.
And one of their first 3 games that you said, remember?
No, Texas.
No, there's another team that you had mentioned who's a tough team. It's a little scrappy. That's in their non-conference schedule.
Oh, that's right. The Red Wolves of Arkansas State.
Be a little scrappy.
I forgot who their coach is. I like their coach. I forgot. He's a weirdo, but I like it. I like their coach. He's good. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think MSU is primed for a 6-6-75 year.
Nope.
Yeah.
As long as they beat Michigan, that's all that matters.
Good luck. Are they in Ann Arbor this year?
I don't know.
I think they're in Ann Arbor. In Ann Arbor.
No, they were in Ann Arbor last. No, it's Ann Arbor. They're in Ann Arbor this year.
Okay, Jonathan Smith, welcome to Michigan. When you walk in here, you get railed 38-3.
Good luck trying to stop Aiden Chillis.
Yeah.
Come on now.
No problem doing that. Because if he was any good, he'd be playing. He would have beaten out DJ Uyunglele or whatever his name is. What a bum. Yeah. DJ Uyunglele. Here, let's see. I'm looking at the roster, the schedule real quick to close this out because we are gonna mad trash talk during football season.
Yep. Always.
I can't wait to see Aiden Childs throw his first interception. I'm gonna text you. All right. Let's see when are they? Yeah, they're in Ann Arbor, October 26th. Oh, that's Uncle Chewy's birthday.
Yes.
I forgot. I said I was gonna try and get him tickets to go, so we're gonna go to that game for his birthday. And then the following week, Michigan gets Oregon at home.
And that's a loss. I mean, I see 4 losses. Oregon, come on, they're going to compete for a title this year. Come on now.
You forget, though, little grasshopper. Oregon in Michigan in November.
Okay.
Michiganders can't even handle Michigan in November.
Oregon is primed. Like, the way they play is... They're ready. I'm telling you.
I think
Oregon wins the Big Ten. Wins the Big Ten this year. Oregon is winning.
Not even close. Okay. At Washington's a loss.
Yep.
Texas is a loss.
Yep.
And I think Ohio State's a loss.
Ohio State and Oregon. I know.
Time out. Now MSU.
We can bet a sandwich on that.
The problem is with what I'm saying actually is Michigan State has a very soft schedule. Let me tell you if you're scared of any of these garbage cans. Okay, so they're non-conference blows, of course, because why would they play anybody?
3-0 in the first 3 games.
All right. FAU. They didn't play that game in their sleep. That's a win.
Yes.
At Maryland should be a win.
Win.
Against Prairie View A&M.
Win.
Okay, Division 2.
That's 3. I'm counting.
You don't even have to play Aiden Chillis, whatever the heck his name is. Boston College. Win. Now, they're at Boston College. I don't know why, but that's a win. Unless it's raining.
Yeah.
Could be a loss. Okay. Then you come home and you got to play Ohio State. That's a loss.
Yes.
Okay. At Oregon, loss.
Yep.
Home against Iowa.
Win.
Iowa can score points now. Because they got rid of, what's his name? Ferentz's son as OC. 5
wins.
You think Iowa gets 5? Oh, you're saying Michigan? Okay.
Yeah, they're up to 5.
That's not
6.
a win. That's not a win, Teddy.
Okay, I'll be realistic. I'll keep it at 5 right now. Okay.
Okay. Now your next 4 games are pretty easy. Indiana, at Illinois, home against Purdue, home against Rutgers. That's automatic
9
wins. Automatic wins.
Yep.
They play 3 tough games.
Oregon,
3.
Ohio State, and Michigan.
3. You don't play Penn State. You don't play...
Not till the Big Ten Championship. I'm kidding. Realistically, 9 wins.
You don't play Penn State. You don't play USC. You don't play UCLA. You don't play Washington.
You guys play USC, but that's it.
Yes. And Washington and Oregon.
And Ohio State.
All in our first year.
Yes.
All in their first year being in the conference.
Mm-hmm. But USC is not going to be what it is. UCLA or whatever is
well, you never know.
Is.
You never know. Which means next year you play all those teams.
Yeah.
You have to play everybody in the
By then we'll be ready.
It's over a 2-year span.
Yeah.
And over a 4-year span, you'll play everybody once at home and away.
Mm-hmm.
So next year you will have to play USC,
UCLA,
home or away, UCLA, home or away, Washington, home or away.
Right.
On top of Penn State.
Well, we've already played Washington multiple times.
Yeah, and you got railed by Michael. I mean,
yes.
Last year was different. I get it because they didn't have. It was what's his name? Who was the interim head coach? I mean, they didn't have Mel Tucker. I mean, not that
D'Antoni for a while.
Yeah. Well, no. Who was he? Who was he assisting? Who's the guy? I forgot the defensive guy.
I forget his name.
I mean, he's not there anymore. But what I'm saying is Mel Tucker. It was that week where the Mel Tucker thing happened, and they just they had nothing for him, and they weren't winning the game with or without Mel Tucker. I'm just saying it looked worse than what it probably would have been. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good luck next year. You might win 4 games next year. That ends. But who cares about next year? We need to get through this year first. Okay. That ends our podcast. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's an hour and 50 minutes or something like that. Hour 40, 45, whatever.
Yeah.
Listen to it. I promise we're entertaining. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Love you. Bye.